So Spain has actually fined Yoti, which is an actual ID verification app, 950,000 euros for mishandling biometric data and consent failures in its age verification app. And yet, as this Twitter account points out, governments want us to go ahead and do ID age verification. This is an actual ID age verification app, and if we go ahead and read what they say on their website, they literally advertise themselves as building the world's trusted identity platform. Man, this is so ironic it could cure anemia. Yoti is a global leader in privacy-focused identity and age assurance solutions, helping businesses and people trust online and in the real world. And we're about to see that that is a bunch of bullcrap. For those of you guys who have seen my recent videos, you guys already know that there have been a ton of ID verification breaches happening recently with Persona and a bunch of other third-party vendors. It has never been safe to go ahead and upload an ID to social medias. That's why nobody wants to do it. There's a huge chance of your ID getting leaked and that information being stored. And once you put something on the internet, it is there to stay forever. So Yoti's age estimation interface showing facial scan with the claim that photos are deleted after use. Yeah, I think I can spoil the story for you. They're not. So Spain's Data Protection Authority has imposed a total fine of £950,000 on Yoti, the British digital identity and age verification company, after finding 3 distinct violations of the General Data Protection Regulation in the operation of its digital ID application. The 3 penalties break down as follows: 500,000 euros for the unlawful processing of biometric data under Article 9 of the GDPR. Just remember that every time these companies say, don't worry, just trust us with your information, we'll keep it safe. 200,000 euros for obtaining invalid consent for research and development processing in violation of Article 7, and 250,000 euros for excessive data retention contrary to the storage limitation principle in Article 5.1. Alongside the financial penalties, the AEPD has ordered Yoti to implement corrective measures within 6 months of the resolution becoming final. This is actually great news because hopefully more governments and organizations actually crack down on these freaking ID age verification providers and make sure that they're actually doing what they say that they're going to be doing with the information. Obviously, I just hope that there wouldn't be ID age verification at all, but if they are going to force it down our throats, at least make sure that this shit is actually doing what they say it is. I mean, come on now. These guys are fucking just taking our information and going ahead and doing whatever with it, and to the point where the government has to step in and say, hey, wait, you guys said that the photos would be deleted. That's it. We're going to be fining you guys. So Yoti, which is registered in the United Kingdom with tax identification number this, operates a range of age verification services used by platform operators across multiple markets. According to the resolution, all of the company's age verification methods, facial age estimation, so all that AI bullshit that they use, document-based verification, so essentially ID verification, credit card checks, mobile number matching, and its digital ID apps are available for use in Spain. The company's most recent published revenue figures, cited in the resolution of March 2025, stand at £15 million. Hopefully getting fined that amount of money, even though it might not be a lot of money to them, will be a deterrent to them to stop having them collect our information. To be honest, Spain should not even be using this shit to begin with. If they just caught these guys violating privacy and violating the things they said that they would do with our photos, why the fuck would they even be using them going forward? But that's a different argument. All these countries seem to have a hard on for age verification. But anyways, this is the way that Yoti's technology works. The digital ID app is the service at the center of the enforcement action. According to Yoti's own documentation submitted during the investigation, the app allows users to create a verified identity account by uploading a government-issued identity document and taking a selfie. The technology uses deep neural networks to process the facial image. The image is broken into pixels, each treated as a numerical value. They say a bunch of bullshit here, but really what is going on is they're having AI look at the image, and we all know that AI age estimation is awful and does not work at all. That's something that we've talked about in a lot of videos. Freaking 28 and now 29-year-old man here that TikTok marked as 13 years old. Accurate AI facial scans, they say. But anyways, Yoti describes the age verification services it offers to business clients as comprising 8 distinct methods. According to the company's own data protection impact assessment, these include facial age estimation, verification via digital ID app, document identification, credit card verification, mobile number verification, and all this other stuff. And it's used in Switzerland, Denmark, and Finland. They have a US mobile driving license option. So those clients act as data controllers and Yoti acts as a processor within the digital ID app specifically. However, Yoti is a controller. So they talk about the machine learning model, which, like I said, it's all just AI model bullshit. So they have 12 age range categories, which you can see over here, 4 gender groupings, and 3 skin tone groups based on the Fitzpatrick scale, giving a total of 144 demographic combinations. According to Yoti's white paper on the technology referenced in the resolution and updated to September 2, 2024, the model was accurate within 1.28 years and performed effectively across gender and skin tone. I call bullshit on this, and Plus, why would we trust anything that they say anyways when we have just found out and they just got fined for improperly using the information that was submitted to them for ID age verification? Why the hell would we trust a single word that they say? The app imposes age-based controls by jurisdiction. According to Yoti, the digital ID app cannot be used by persons under the digital age of consent, i.e. 13 years in the UK, 14 years in Spain. On the second screen of the account creation process, the app detects the user's location. In Spain, it presents two options. You're either 14 or over, or you are 13 and under. And they use a cookie-based system. Age tokens are browser cookies with a lifespan of 30 days. Users who verify their age once can reuse that result across participating platforms within the cookie's validity period. And so let's start talking about some of their violations. So basically, they were processing biometric data without a valid legal basis under Article 9, and they actually said that the facial scan it performs does not constitute biometric data of a special category because, in its view, the purpose is not to uniquely identify users but to authenticate them. What a bullshit argument, by the way. The facial scan produces a biometric template stored while the account is active. When users modify their PIN or recover their account, the app captures a new facial scan and compares it against the stored template, a one-to-one matching operation. According to the authority, despite repeatedly asserting both during account creation and in the privacy policy that the purpose of processing the biometric facial pattern is to guarantee user identification. Yoti does not consider itself to be processing special category personal data. Yeah, get out of here with that bullshit. So their second violation was pre-ticked consent boxes for R&D. So this is about what Yoti used to obtain consent from users' biometric data in internal research and development. According to the AEPD investigation, the app settings screen displayed a pre-ticked checkbox through which users' biometric data would be used to train and improve Yoti's facial AI age estimation algorithms. It was already checked. You had to go and find it and uncheck it if you didn't want your data to be used. What a slimy ass organization Yoti is. I mean, that has honestly pissed me off just reading that. Unless you go in and find that fucking checkbox, they were just going to be using your AI facial scan and government IDs that you sent them to train their stupid ass AI models. And their own documentation confirms that arrangement. According to the company, in the digital ID app, the default value is that data can be used for R&D. Yoti has taken steps to make this clear to users. It should be the fucking other way around. It should be unchecked by default, and if you want your information to be used to train the AI models, then you can go ahead and check it. So the fact that they're making it so you have to opt out as opposed to opt in is where a lot of these companies go wrong and why this is so shady. Pre-tick checkboxes do not constitute a clear affirmative action. They represent the inverse, processing that proceeds unless the user actively intervenes to stop it. So they violated a bunch of stuff in the European Data Protection Board, and they said that Yoti consciously notes that consent granted by default can be revoked without taking into account that there should not be a subsequent revocation at the data subject's request, but rather the consent should be obtained in accordance with the safeguards and guarantees established by the GDPR. So their fine for this was 200,000 euros, and the AEPD noted that the processing serves Yoti's commercial interests as a company seeking to improve its product, that the data is processed outside user control on servers outside the EU, and that the involvement of minors constitutes an aggravating factor. And in terms of their third and last violation, and I'm sure there's plenty more if they go and look into it more, retention periods beyond stated purposes. According to Yoti's own DPIA, age tokens and digital ID app data are retained for as long as the user maintains an active account or for 3 years following the last activity. The biometric facial pattern used to verify the user is a real person is kept throughout the entire period. The AEPD found it's disproportionate. The authorities' reasoning proceeds in 2 steps. First, a liveness check confirming that the person in front of the camera is real is completed at account creation. Once that check is done, the purpose is fulfilled. So why would they retain that information when they have already verified that the person is real? Retaining the biometric data indefinitely after that point cannot be justified by reference to a completed purpose. And so Yoti was just keeping that fucking information in that, video of you or facial scan of you or whatever. User, country code, city, and state derived from their IP addresses, 5 years. The stated purpose for this collection is determining which jurisdictions' age restrictions apply to the user. So essentially, in layman's terms, they were keeping your information for way longer than they said that they would. They also made it so you yourself have to opt out of your information being used to train these bullshit AI models, as opposed to making it an opt-in feature. So Yoti is so fucking shady. They're just as bad as Persona in terms of being an awful third-party ID vendor. Obviously, we all agree that ID age verification shouldn't have existed to begin with, but the fact that it does and a lot of countries and states right now just have to deal with it, it's such a backstab to us to force us to do this, and then the same companies that we're handing our IDs over to are fucking lying to us. They're lying to us about having to opt into AI facial scan training. They're lying to us for how long they're going to be keeping our information. It's all fucking lies, manipulation, and the collection of biometric data. This is bullshit. Yoti as a company should go down the fucking drain. I genuinely hope that their company fails. And Spain, if they continue to work with Yoti even after finding them, they are full of shit as well. So yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. This third-party ID verification bullshit vendor Yoti got caught doing some shady stuff. Please leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more. See ya.